I was talking to a lovely woman named Jane about this structure of Hedi Kyle's. It's has this pleat closure to it, and there are so many things to flesh out about Hedi's structures that it's always fun to do a video on them. This is on page 174 to 175 of her book, Art of the Fold, and this is the school book wrapper with pleat. I'm going to be doing the sequences of fold a little bit different than Hedi, just to make things easier myself. But the way she does it is to she gets a piece of paper that's about twice the height of whatever she's going to fold, and I like to put a little bit of wiggle room on it. So this is two origami pamphlets or zines, and it's just a little bit taller than two of them. So it has to be as tall as two of them, and then as wide as seven of them. There's something interesting, though, to say about this. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. What I'm going to do for the first three, like I said, there's going to be seven. What I'm going to do for the first three is I'm going to mark where they end. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, this might not totally make sense what I'm doing to you at first, but stay with me and hopefully it'll make sense. Then I'm going to measure what is going to be my width. In this case, it's going to be a 1/2 inch. So I already have my strip that's about a 1/2 inch. Then you need 4 more, the width of 4 more of these, or the length of 4 more of these. And I'm not going to do any more marking here, so that's 3. 4, you don't have to do any marking. Don't go to town with too much marking. So that's 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put the spine piece over here, and I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. I always like a little bit more wiggle room. And this part actually I'm going to cut off. So I'm going to do that now. And this piece I'm going to say is probably, that I'm using, is probably about 9 inches by a little over 20 inches. But I don't really need to measure that with inches. Okay, so now, according to Heidi's directions, she eventually brings these to the middle. I'm going to do it right in the beginning because I really want the fold line. It makes it easier for me. And the way I'll find the middle is I'll just sort of pretend I'm going to fold, and just a little piece of a fold right there, and then mark it. Fold this in half again. A little tiny piece of the fold so I know where it is, and mark it. And now I'll be unfolding this, but I'm going to start off by folding these to the center. I'm just going to do a little on both ends first, and then I'll connect those ends, and the same thing with the top. And this really does make the folding in easier when we really have to do it later on. Okay, so unfolding that. Yay. Now, this first fold is going to fold so that I see my design. And there's my line. And all I have to do is fold on that line. Make sure it's nice and even with the bottom. And if it is nice and even with the bottom, I don't need to do any more measuring. I just hold this and slide up. Okay? I'm also going to do the spine next. There's another fold to do here, but it's easier to do the spine next. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to find that little spot. I'm going to see it. I've got to sort of look underneath. Make sure I've got it. Again, it's lined up perfectly at the bottom, so I don't have to worry about measuring at the top. It's a nice thing about paper folding. It behaves if you let it. And I'll line that up nicely at the bottom. And Here's my spine. And I'm going to do something, because I like spines, actually the reason I really like this book is because I like spines. I like to put spines in my book. And I thought I had my spine piece here, but you know what? I don't. Maybe I'll find it sooner or later. But sometimes I'll put a little hard piece right in here. And that sort of stiffens up the spine for me. And I like that. Okay, so I've got that there, and now I still have this fold to do. And what this is actually going to do, it's going to come right over to the spine. I can see my fold right here. And I'm going to come on over to that spine fold. Maybe just a tiny, tiny bit shy of it. Bring it down. Okay, so now I've got this like accordion fold here. One, down, up, down. And now I make my pleat. The way I make the pleat, this is going to be the pleat for the front cover, is I'm going to bring this mountain fold, this top fold here, and I'm going to bring that over to the spine. There we go. And look, there's a pleat right there. Now this is where it comes in handy to have already done this fold, because now I am going to be folding it up, and it's just a little bit harder with the pleat in it, so it's nice to have that already done. Okay, so this is what I have so far. There's a fold line right here from before, and I'm going to fold on that fold line. There we go. And the left side, the verso side of my book is done. Okay, so we still have this long old thing over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this all the way over to the spine, so I can see my spine right here. Bring that all the way over. Now, chances are you're going to have some sort of kink in it because the paper is doubled. And maybe this is a good time to talk about the paper. I use a lightweight paper on this, and I think it works better with a lightweight paper, something that's about 90 GSM, about 24 pound. I'll even use wrapping paper with it, which is what this one is. This is made out of wrapping paper, because wrapping paper comes in rolls, tall rolls, and you want the grain of this to be going parallel to the short end. And it's actually hard to find pieces of paper that are long enough to do this. So wrapping paper is a good choice. Or if you've got a parent sheet, that's a good choice. Okay, so we've got it like this. We're almost done. I'm going to articulate my spine just a little bit better, which is why it's sometimes nice to have a spine piece in there. There we go. And now I'm going to make this piece, this beveled edge. And the way I'll do that is, zoom in a little bit, there's no particular formula for this. Just whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you like. Try to make it symmetrical, because that looks better. And so I've folded these two down, okay? And then I'm going to fold them backwards, so there'll be a good fold line there. There it goes. And then I'll tuck these in. Beautiful, just hidden away. It's a nice little hiding place. It gives it a little extra thickness, so when it goes into the pleat, it holds well. Okay, so let's zoom back out a little bit. So I'm going to put these in, and at this point I want to put them in to show you how it works. All I have to do is put them in here. Now I've got a spine if I put them on my bookshelf, and I take this part and I just bring it over and slide it in. There, isn't that neat? Slide it in. Now look, my pieces, if I push it in tight enough, I was going to say my pieces don't come out, and then they came out. That was no fair. Okay, but for the most part, they don't come out. It's pretty secure. If you're worried about it them falling out, there's lots of little things you can do to secure it. I'm going to let you figure that out yourself. But if you're doing like a little book, because it's got this turnover there, this is little pockets, right? There's pockets here and here. So you can use that to put in a little book, slide an edge of a book in. Be sure there's no writing on that part, okay? So that's a way to use it. Also, if you have like little things, you're carrying around your quadrilaterals again and your pentagons, and you're not going to put them in here. These will definitely fall out. So you can use those little pockets to keep these things slid into. And look, I like cutting out these little holes so I can take things out more easily. So yeah, try different papers, try wrapping paper, try whatever you've got around. And this is a wonderful little structure. No surprise that Hedi keeps. There's so much to look at about these. Okay. So thank you, Jane, for getting me to look at this one.